Hello Flosstube, my name is Lisa Ann and I am Pieced Pineapple Studios here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. This is my first Flosstube. I've been a watcher for ages. It's been so much fun to see it really blow up and gain so much traction and the community grow so large. I guess fear and insecurities, fear of filming, got in the way of actually filming a Flosstube, and I guess really just thinking I wouldn't have enough content, but we'll see. We'll give it a shot. I won't know until I try. A little bit about me. Again, like I said, my name is Lisa Ann, and I live in Columbia, South Carolina with my husband and our dog, who you might hear. She's sleeping right now. Her name is Liv, and she's a silken windhound. Lots of fur. You'll probably end up seeing her in a reflection in the glass at some point when she wakes up from this nap and she wants to play, so hopefully she won't grab a squeaky toy. We'll see. I started cross-stitching probably in 2016, 2017, maybe before that. I mean, originally I learned as a kid, but you know, it was cool for a week and then I dropped it and moved on to something else like Legos because that was my jam. And so I picked it back up, or really taught myself through YouTube videos in 2015, 2017, somewhere around there. Really dove in deeper a little bit after that. I was looking for a creative release that allowed me to follow a pattern, and the colors were already selected and it was easy, and I could just count, think it through, move on, be good with that, instead of my other primary hobby, which is quilting, trying to put together palettes and, you know, put my own twist on quilts or any of that. So I felt a little less creative pressure, which is why I really fell deep into cross-stitching. Like I said, I'm a quilter. My actual job, I am an interior designer, and I do senior living, multifamily, commercial work. So that was really draining for all my creative juices, and I ended up deciding, okay, let's if quilting's not working, then I can try doing long arm quilting, and that will give me the ability to draw and sketch through thread on a quilt. And in that, I was really able to still stay in the quilting community, even though my creative juices were completely burnt out. And then I realized I need to make things with my hands still, and that's where cross stitch kind of fill in the gap, and really became super dominant in my hobby life. So like I said, I do long arming. I do have a business, Pieced Pineapple Studios, which is a professional long arming studio. I primarily focus with modern quilts, but of course I take all quilts. They don't quilt any different. They quilt the same, it's just different patterns. But I tend to cater more to modern quilters. I'm a part of the Modern Quilt Guild, the Palmetto chapter, which is here in Central Midlands, South Carolina. I'm from Austin, Texas, so it still feels really weird to say Midlands, South Carolina instead of Central South Carolina. It's just trying to get used to that. So that's a little bit about, me. If you have any questions, feel free, send me a message, and I'm more than happy to answer. So like I said, I learned cross stitch on essentially through YouTube. And I can say the early days of cross stitch on YouTube were very different than today. I could only imagine learning this lovely hobby without YouTube. It definitely helped me go a lot faster in progressing to more complex patterns. But you'll see I don't really have many complex patterns. I like pretty simple, straightforward projects. So back in the day, there were, so many different, there's so fewer Flosstubers that you really like, oh, okay, this person does cross stitch. Cool, I'm into that. Okay, let's watch that. And I would really look forward to whenever those videos come out. And they were sometimes frequent, sometimes not. Sometimes the consistency was, different at that point. Now it's all algorithm. I guess it was then too, but it seems a little bit more driven with consistency now. So some of the Flosstubers that I really enjoy watching, I think from like the good old days, would be Michelle Bendy Stitches. Steel City Stitchers were pretty pivotal when they first started filming, and I was like, okay, there's a community out there, and they're cool, and they're young, and they're doing really funky things with, I think back then they showed a lot more like horror patterns, and I was like, yes, those are my people. So it was really exciting to watch that. And then, more recently, let's see, X-Stitch MD and Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, So Tattered, Mountain Laurel Stitches. I feel her. She's going through some life things, and that's a lot of where I've been on my cross stitch journey. Maybe not my parent dying, but my in-laws and very close friends. So that's definitely been a part of my journey. So I really feel for her, but I'm glad to see that she's still stitching or coming back to stitching. So Colors, Lara in Holland. So a little bit of Dutch love there. My mom's Dutch. I'm 50% Dutch, so definitely feel the love there. Love watching her. I can see a young version of my mom in her. So it's really fun to watch her, and you hear the accent. I don't really talk to any of my Dutch family anymore, so I don't hear it very frequently. So it's really nice to hear the accent. Who else? Let's see. Well, of course, Lindy Stitches. Jan Hicks Creates. I recently went on a cruise with her and Michelle and Jean Farish in January, and that was amazing. I'm gonna assume you maybe saw a video about it, but they do it it was the first Flosstube at sea, and I think that they've already sold for next year. But if you get a chance, it's amazing. Go do it. It was such a blast. I did miss out on a bit because I suffer from intractable chronic migraine, and some days just were not able to be out with the people. So I did miss out on a little, but all in all, getting the chance to sit and stitch and meet so many people was really awesome. Let's see. I also met Stitching to Connect Annie on that cruise, and she's such a delight to watch, and I really feel such a connection, like a family connection to her when I watch her videos. She's just so sweet. Let's see, and we have Primrose Cottage Quilts and Stitches and Lala D, Pumpkin Hollow, New Hampshire Stitcher. Oh my gosh, there's so many people, you guys. So many people. And then there's so many others that I watch, but that's already a long list that I've shared. So maybe I'll share some more people next time. So let's see. Being my first Flosstube, I figured what better time than to do a WIP Parade. So we will go through current projects and some things I have kitted up and kind of ready to go. I don't keep my floss with my projects. I keep it all in a bin together, and I only work here. If I'm traveling, I just pull what I need and go. but I just keep all my floss together and pull from it all at the same time. I don't have that many WIPs, so I'm not really concerned about, you know, dye lots changing. I know that it is an issue, but I'm not super concerned because I don't have that many WIPs. Maybe I do. I don't think I do. But I really have a drive to finish what I'm working on before I jump too deep into other projects. So might run into an issue down the road. Hopefully not. But regardless, let's go ahead and I guess jump into my WIP Parade. So the first project, I think I might go in kind of chronological order of things I know that are my oldest projects. Perhaps I might have the dates wrong on some of these, but for oldest, still going strong kind of projects, I think I'll start there. And if you see me looking down, it's because I do have my laptop right here. I use Notion to track all of my cross-stitch projects, quilting projects, all those things. So I have my notes down here. Okay, let's see. The first project is Universal Monster. This is a Witchy Stitcher project. Oh my gosh, this is way overdue to be finished. Let's see, I started this in April 2019. That might not be right. And I wasn't using this way back when, so I tried to guesstimate, but I think it was April. We'll see. So this is where I'm at. Again, this is Universal Monster. This is on 16 count Haunted Ada from Picture This Plus. It was so much fun working through this as it was going. Everybody was coming up with really fun hashtags like furry man or fancy man and all those fun little things. So it was a lot of fun seeing all those things. I do wish I had been able to keep up, but life kind of got in the way and it fell to the wayside. But I do try to pick it up pretty regularly right now. So this is in my regular rotation at the moment. I think some of the things I haven't really personalized too much other than changing out for Crynic or things like that, and I might play with up here. There's a alternate version with a larger blood moon, and I'm really on the fence if I want to do all that stitching or not, or if I'd rather just stick with the little moon and just get it done. And I really wanted to do the blood moon at first, but now I'm just kind of like, let's just get it done. So we'll see. I am a Q-snap girl, as you can see. I did not iron. I'm sorry. I only have so much energy before my migraine takes me back down. So is what it is. I'm real sorry. If it's a major issue, put it in the comments and we'll see how many people comment and we'll address it. But until then, this is Universal Monster. I really love that one. It's so much fun. Let's see. I tried to unzip everything, but I do keep everything in plastic bags. So we'll see how it goes. My next one, oh goodness. This is Vintage Greeting, A Merry Christmas by Heart and Hand. I have been working on this for, it feels like forever. It's been at least since 2019. It may have been prior to that. I'm really not sure. But I just love this sweet little pattern. I'm just really hung up on all the white down here. I just can't get past it. So let's just go ahead and get it over with. Let's show it to you. Here's where I'm at. This is also on 16 count Haunted Ada from Picture This Plus. Oops, may not have been in the picture. put it here. I didn't have a design board. I just have this like box lid. I think it worked out well. We'll see. It's a little noisy. But anyways, so everything's been going fine except for the white. I just got hung up and I got real fed up with doing the white and I didn't like the way the stitches looked, and now I know more. I could have added another strand. I didn't know that, but it's okay. This will hopefully be sent out as a Christmas gift to the intended recipient this year. We'll see. Goals, right? I'm just going to keep the goal every year. I keep hoping that I'm going to get it to her, and it's going to happen one day. Hopefully this year. But this is all stitched in the called for, except for I think this one right here. I don't remember what color it's supposed to be for this little road, but what I have, I think the color, it was like a week's dye work or an over dyed floss, and I think the colorway just kind of changed over time and it does not match at all. So I need to pull a new color for here. But other than that, I think everything's been the called for. I love this pattern. It's so cute. It just feels old and vintagey, and that's kind of my jam. Okay, let's see. Next one, oh goodness. I don't think I have it down here. No, I don't have it down here. Okay, well, I'll have to show it to you next time. It was the Stitch Your Own Adventure, Harry Potter, Letters from Hogwarts from Cunning Cross Stitch. It's kind of been the bane of my existence, kind of why I don't stick with or don't jump onto stitch-alongs anymore, because I just got so tired doing the banner. It took me forever to get through that banner, and that's when I decided I'm not a full coverage kind of girl. That's just not my thing. I keep thinking I'm going to try it again, but I don't know. That banner killed me. I'll show it to you next time. Or I can insert a picture. We can try that. I'm going to try to insert pictures. I've never done this before. We'll see if it works. Okay, so my next project is It's a Mermaid Life by Tiny Modernist. I believe I started this in 2021. It may have been 2020. Yeah, I'm really not sure. But I am stitching this on 16 count Mediterranean Sea Aida from Witchy. There we go. It's just so sweet. I really made this my focus on the cruise to try to get it done. I had hoped, we lived in Florida for like 6 months, and I hoped that I was going to be able to get it done when we lived there. So then on the cruise, I was like, oh, perfect, we're flying into Florida. I'm going to focus on this, and it felt cruise worthy. But I didn't finish it. It's okay. It's okay. I love it. It's so cute. I did get off in a couple places, but I fudged it and nobody will know. I don't remember where it was. It's okay. I personalized it. It's my own. It's my own. But this bag's not too bad for being one of my older ones. Not too bad. I'm not afraid to show my bags. There were definitely times where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't travel that far, but it's okay. I'm sure it'll be framed and it won't be a problem then. So this is It's a Mermaid Life. I started stitching that one on, I don't remember the name of the app. It was really a knitting app that you could kind of modify its intended use and track cross stitch patterns on it. but it didn't give you any of the stats or data or any of that, and that's kind of when I was working on that, on It's a Mermaid Life. So I don't really have any stats or anything, but on some of the newer ones, or the ones that I'm really actively working on right now, I use Markup RXP on my iPad and absolutely love it. At some point, yeah, it was 2021, for work, I really needed to have an iPad with me pretty much all the time, and I was constantly traveling, constantly flying, and I always bring cross stitch with me when I'm flying. Aisle seat with a light, stitch, stitch, stitch. So I try to keep all my patterns on the iPad because I already needed to have it with me for work. So I kind of abandoned my Kindle and my Androids. So Pattern Keeper went out the door and wasn't working very well with my patterns at that time. And then Markup RXP came around, and game changer. Game changer. Love it. Absolutely love it. So I'm slowly importing different patterns into it that I'm actively working on, or I know are coming up in the future. And that's kind of what I've been working on a little bit more for the last month or so, that and changing from bobbins to Annie's Keepers. That's how I store my floss. Just because migraine. I've been having a lot of vertigo with my migraine lately, and like it's literally every day. All the meds, work with neurologists, all the things. If you have a tip, I'll take it. But it's been pretty much daily for the last year and a half, daily at a high level. So it's the vertigo's been really bad this month, so I've been working a lot more on just kind of importing patterns into Markup RXP whenever I get the chance. If I can't focus on counting or anything like that, then it's just easier to work on that and still be making progress on something. Anyways, sidetrack. Sorry, it's going to take forever to get through then. Okay, so the next one is a Greyhound year. My husband and I had Greyhound in Texas. Her name was Franny. She lived, cover your ears. She was our baby. We absolutely adored her, and we fostered greyhounds and all that goodness. Sweetest girl ever. She passed away when we were in Florida, about like the week before we moved to South Carolina. But this pattern is it. It gets me. So this is a Greyhound year by the Blue Flower. Come on. And I'm trying to stitch each month individually, so I can put it in a small wooden frame and just swap it out each month. And I started this in 2022. No. Yes. 2022. I stitched it, started it in this house. Not that that matters to you. But I haven't made it too far. I started and then I end up moving on to other projects. So this is the only one that I've actually finished, and well, I sure haven't made it much farther. I haven't finished it, fully finished it, but this is April, and it is, I think that this is 28 count Summer Sky Even Weave. Let's see, do I have the sticker on here still? I do. I don't know who made this one though, who dyed it. And let's see. This guy that I'm working on right now, it's June. So I started this last June. And so this is June, and he'll have a little watermelon and cute little greyhound in there. So I am rotating it through 3 different fabrics. The other fabrics that I'm working on are a 28 count Vintage Country Mocha linen, and then this is a 28 count Denim Blue Joblin Even Weave. So depending on the month. the different ones. I have all of that planned out already because I need to plan things. I'm not very good at just winging it with cross stitch. It's my planned hobby. A lot more planned, than any other hobby I do. But because I knew I was switching out fabrics for different months and I didn't want to worry about not having enough fabric, I went ahead and planned out each month which fabric it's going to go on. So I keep them all together. Oh, but yeah. So this is what the majority of my projects are in. Just, you know, these good old zipper bags from Amazon. Except for this one. This is the only project bag I made. It is not fitting for this project, but it's, you know, zombie pinups. That's my pinups are my other life. Back when I was younger, I did some pinup modeling. We have hot rods, all that goodness. But yeah, so I saw this fabric and I was like, oh, perfect. I wouldn't want it on a quilt for myself, but I love it on a project bag. Get to see it there. So this project is a tiny Modernist Mouse's Halloween stitching. And I started this, I want to say 2022, the summer of 2022, hoping to have it finished for Halloween, and still not there. It really doesn't need much, so I will probably keep it out and finish this guy. Oh, it's so cute. So all I need to do is some simple back stitching. I think there's webs that I just need to fill in. Oh, I need to fill the skull in white. It gets really so close. It's so close. It's so silly that I haven't finished it. This is on a... I don't think... Yeah, it's an Aida. Yes, it's an Aida, a sparkly Aida, but it's natural. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. This one, I don't think I used the called fors. I think I did the DMC conversion that was listed for it. And I did change out, I think I did change out what the called fors were for the dress and the pumpkin. Maybe for this too, because I was getting a little bit more adventurous. I just didn't have the over-dyed flosses that worked well, like the colors that worked well for it. So I tried to find the variegated DMCs that I had that could work. Yeah, okay. I really need to get this one finished. She's so cute. She's so cute. Mouse's Halloween Stitching by Tiny Modernist. I think I'm gonna frame that one. Just put it like in a small standalone frame. So this next project, I do know the exact start date of it, and it is from January 1st, 2023. This is my version of the Rainbow Temperature Galaxy by Climbing Goat Designs. And this is also on 16 count Haunted Aida from Picture This Plus. Apparently I bought a really large piece and I used it across a lot of different things, trying to really use it up. This has been staying in the hoop because it's going to be a hoop finish, so I'm really not concerned about it being having creases or anything like that. So the way that this one works is, I believe that this was January, and then this would have been April starting, going around, and then January, April, this was the summer, and then this was September starting. So I'm up over here, I'm in the last month. Life got crazy in the holidays, and then I didn't keep up anymore. So I need to finish off December's, maybe a little bit of November. I hope not. I hope it's just December. So I need to finish off December, and then there's little white stars that go all the way around the galaxy, and I'm going to do that in the glow in the dark. I think I might also rip out 2023 and Columbia and replace that with the glow in the dark thread too. We'll see. I might not be feeling that ambitious. I might just stitch over. We'll see. Or outline. I might outline the year instead of ripping it all out, and I might just do Columbia, South Carolina again. This was a lot of fun. It was just really hard with the little bits. I did the highs and the lows for each day. So the inner ring is the low for every day, and the outer ring is the high. And because of that, it was just so much confetti every day. You knew you were going to be stitching most likely 2 colors every single day in just a little itty bitty increment. So at times I put it off and just did it on the weekends in one fell swoop, but still it was just switching out so much. So I definitely want to do more, I think, because this was like our first full year in this house. I might do one for 2021 when we had our Florida house, do it for there, and then probably our Austin house. And I could do our wedding year or something like that, or the year we bought our house there. Who knows? But I would like to go and kind of do other regions. If there's another big event that happens in our lives here, then I might do another Columbia one. She has a different pattern that's more linear radiations instead of the spiral galaxy. I think I might do that because I really like that one too. Do I do the highs and the lows or just the highs? Oh, decisions. I like seeing the highs and the lows. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Not worrying about it right now. I just need to finish this one. And then we'll talk about starting a new one. Where did I put that back? So this one was before I started doing the Annie's, or before I bought Annie's Keepers. So I was keeping all my floss on 2 different cards, and this had the temperature range. I did 2 degrees for every color. There's a decent temperature swing here. We just didn't really hit the same lows that we hit the year before. 2022 had snow and, well, I guess 2023 did. No, 2022 had snow, 2023 did not. But it's okay. So I didn't really get to use much of the purples. But I did get to play in, I guess I got this one purple in a little bit. So this is what I was using at that point, but then once I started getting the Annie's Keepers, I just transitioned everything to there, and it worked really well. Okay, so my next project this is my current on-the-go project, or when I go get my migraine treatments. I get a quarterly infusion, and I do quarterly Botox for migraines. So when I go out to those appointments, I tend to bring this, or just like any general doctor's appointments. I do use a hoop when I'm traveling like that, just a, like a tension hoop. So easy. This is my travel bag when I'm traveling with a project. This was the best bag on for flying, because I could have this bottom zipper has my scissors and the orts. My threads would be in the middle one, and then my project would be back here. I really wish I would have bought all of these at the time on Amazon, because I cannot find it for the life of me. If anybody with their magic Google powers and Amazon searching powers finds this bag, it's called Zipster. It was waterproof. It's amazing. Amazing. If you find this again, let me know. Send me a link. I want it. I want more. It was so great. If I had a bigger project, you just fold it up and it fits really nicely in here. Anyways, on with the actual project that we're here to talk about. I'm really sorry. This one has major hoop marks. It should be ironed. This is Death Before Decaf by the Witchy Stitcher. So this is kind of a culmination of my life here. I love coffee, and to me, decaf is not an option. If it's not going to have caffeine, I'm drinking tea. I just don't understand decaf coffee. But the mug is really what got me on this one. I am also a big Tiki culture fanatic. My husband and I got married at a very large Tiki conference, event. Yeah, we'll call it an event, like a weekender in San Diego, California. Yeah, we're big into Tiki. So this kind of fit that vibe and it would work really well. I plan to frame it and put it in our kitchen. So cute. So details. Sorry, let me give you the details. This is on 28 count tarnish linen. It's the Kasha linen from Picture This Plus. It's showing pretty true to color right now. The floss that I chose to use was DMC, and I think she gave 2 options for the red, and I honestly can't recall right now. I do need to fill in the red. I did a lot of frogging of the words. It was off. I had the whole other ghost up over here, and at some point my counting was off. This is why I'm not supposed to cross stitch when I'm having a really bad attack, migraine attack. So all the counting was off, and it's okay. I ripped it. It's okay. We're making progress. Make good progress. This was one that I had started on. I must have still been using the other app, the knitting app, and that's around when I was like, okay, something's not work. Like it was challenging. It was very challenging, and I didn't realize it. But then Markup XP came out, and I transitioned over to that, and I absolutely loved it. And it helped me clear up some of the mistakes that I had, and make notes of like, okay, well, this was one off, and then I could change the color that it was designated to. So when I picked up black again, I could go back and fix it or fudge it, but know where my mistakes were that I needed to work around. So this one I started last August, so August 2023, and I really need to just work on it at home instead of only working on it when I'm on the go, and I can get it done, get it up, hopefully. We'll see. I should have some decent time for the infusions next month and other neurologist appointments next month. So maybe I'll make good progress. We'll see. Hopefully. Yeah. And like I said, if anybody sees these Zipster bags, please let me know. I love it and I miss it. I want more. I don't travel anymore, so it doesn't really matter. So my next project is a Mill Hill project. This was my first Mill Hill project, and this is Haunted Cottage. We're going to try to put pictures in. I hope I can. If I can't, here's the very shiny picture. I'm sorry. I fell for this one big time. I love Halloween, but something about this one really spoke to me. So this is on a perforated paper. I don't know any other details on that, but it's just what comes in the kit. So I've been working through, I did have another counting error in here because I was just trying to push through. And I ended up ripping out a lot of stitching over there. And then I got kind of frustrated. And then the season was over and I moved on to to Christmas and whatnot. So I do plan to pick this back up probably August. probably August, I'll move on to this guy. He's so cute, so cute. I can't wait to do the beading on this. That one's really fun to work on until your county gets off and you have to rip out a lot. I learned my lesson. Leave it alone. Okay, so the next project. This is my current baby. This is my baby. Do I have the pattern? I don't. Okay, so I will definitely try to upload a photo of the pattern. This is Enchantress of the Abyss by Filipina. And I am stitching this on 32 count lock linen by Picture This Plus. I am so over the moon with this project and how it's been stitching out. It is, well, I thought it was going to be the first time I'd actually get to doing beading on a cross stitch, but I might get to the beading first on that mill hill. Hopefully I get to the beading first on that one. So I'm going to do all the stitching in the DMC and the Cunning and then do all the beading. This is the only one I'm doing on a scroll frame, and it's just a cheapy Amazon. This feels like balsa wood, but I was out of Q-snaps and I had this, so figured I'd give it a shot. I am doing 1/1 for the skin because I hadn't tried it before. It's definitely challenging, and if I'm having a bad migraine day, I cannot work on the skin, but it has been a fun challenge to work on. It has some of the Karen threads in there as well, the Karen water lilies. Those are the variegations over here. There's two different colorways in it. I started with her purple hair. Once upon a time, I had purple hair. I had sapphire hair and then transitioned into purple as I was moving closer back to red. So it made me very, very happy to be stitching her purple hair, and it really made me miss my purple. I don't miss the maintenance of it, but I miss the purple. So this is in Markup RXP, and I think I have a pretty good idea of my progress on it. There isn't a way to track numbers with the 1/1, so I mean technically I'm doing more stitches in the stitch count, but it says that I'm 39.3% of the way. This is really my addiction piece right now, and I work on it. It's the first one I will grab if I have a moment to stitch. Right now I was just moving through the tail trying to save some of this, and then I really wanted to play with the pinks again and the purples, so I moved back over here and I've been working on the hibiscus Cunning over here and some of the Karen water lilies. So in love with this project. So in love. Absolutely love the Bella Filipinas. And I can't wait to get another one after I finish this one. We'll see. We'll see. There is was it a Mira? I think it's a Mira. The hula dancer, Leilani. It's a free pattern. I'm working on getting the beads. I know some of the beads are discontinued, so I'm working on getting alternates for those beads. I just love it so much, and we have like a kind of tiki living room upstairs in our house. This is downstairs. This is my stitchy spot. Well, this isn't my stitchy spot. Right there's my stitchy spot where my dog's sleeping. But this is like our family room. So upstairs, our living room, we're turning it into our tiki lounge. And so I plan to frame this and hang it up there. And the hula dancer, Leilani, she will be up there too one day. So I started that October 7th, 2023. So it's one of my newer large starts. No, it's not. I started others. It's a lie. That's my favorite project right now. In case you couldn't tell. Oh my God, she makes me so happy. Oh, so I bought that from our local cross-stitch store. It was actually when I first learned about them. So I think they started around that time. I might be totally wrong, but I got the full kit from them. So all the Cryonics. I love this color, and I absolutely love this amber Cryonic. The packs of the beads. I'm sorry if that's really obnoxious sounding. Doesn't want to focus. So all the beads. And then these are the two Cryonic water lily colors. I'm absolutely in love with this one. This one's called Shirazarade or something along those lines. This purple and orange and gray one. And this one's called Eggplant. But every time that I see Eggplant, I think of this one. So I'm constantly having to check the tags. But this was also my first time stitching with silks, and they're so soft and so lovely. But they also just get a little bit too frayed for me. I'm too rough on them. I don't know, maybe the strands are too long. I don't think so, but it makes me kind of sad to see that they get a little bit more fuzzy. Fuzzy would be the word, not frayed, fuzzy. Oh, I love that project. So yeah, that's the Enchantress of the Abyss. So my next project, actually I don't, do I have it over here? Yes I do. I started this project last October with the intention of having it for the swap on the cruise retreat that I went on, Flosstube at Sea, in January. That did not work out. Bella Filipina took over, so it didn't make it, and it's kind of been on hold since then. This is Summer's Flight by Satsuma Street, and I started this October 20th, 2023. This is in the knitting app that I was using, so I don't have any of the stats or anything on it. It's a little bird, felt very mid-century modern, very my style. Absolutely loved it. This little needle minder is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I think he's from the Advent from last year, so I just stuck him on there. This is 18 count Natural Star Ada from Swagart. I really love the star, the opalescence, whatever you want to call them. I really love the look that you get from that, and especially when I was traveling all the time on the airplanes, cross-stitching, and the LED light would be shining down on it. You know, it's dark in the plane, got my light on, and it would shine, and just the sparkles. It made me so happy. It was the little things. So here you can see how I store my flosses. These are the Annie's Keepers, and I use the Pip and Chip labels. I love them because you get to the idea of the variegation or the color of the floss. So if I don't have a color and I have the label, I can still see what it is and try to find something, match something close to it. So these are all DMCs. So I think what I did is I went through the pattern and pulled the colors. Like I think if it was a gold, yeah, it's like this is a good example. So it called for DMC 780 and I had 105. And I just wanted to kind of play with it a little. So I pulled it out just to see if that would work as an alternate. Just trying to get a little bit more variegation in there. But so I very rarely take off my flosses and store them with the project. This is another one I was trying to do on the go. So I do need to put these, file these back away. But that kind of shows you how you can snap them off. Otherwise, so like here's a good example. I have these colors. I have not washed or rinsed them yet. But I could see like, oh, this color, terracotta by Weeks Dye Works, looks like this. What else do I have that could fit that color? So this is how you store Annie's Keepers. They come on these white little tracks, and you can hang it like in a file folder or file box. And then I braid all of them, and I either tie a piece of floss around the bottom or use a little black hairband, rubber band, and then when you pull it out, it doesn't get tangled. It's amazing. It makes me so happy. And once I started using them, I thought they sounded great. I was tired of like undoing the bobbin to get a strand, or to get a cut length, and then to pull a strand, and then putting the strand back, or the cut length back on the bobbin to travel, and then having to take it back off for another strand. Yeah, it really annoyed me. So I really wanted to go to floss drops, but I needed a different way to store it where I didn't have to worry about my dog's fur. Silken Windhounds are adorable, but they shed like nobody's business. Nobody's business. I was not prepared. So her fur gets absolutely everywhere. So I needed a way to keep it safe and protected. And I just keep it in like a plastic baker's box type situation. I can go deeper into that next time on another one. Do you guys want more information on those? I can share them. But yeah, so it's kind of the two ways that you can store with Annie's Keepers. Anyways, back to it. Distractions. Sorry, squirrel. White Christmas is my next project. I've been eyeing this for a while. I really love the Country Cottage Needleworks. They're like little village patterns and whatnot. But I wasn't always in love with like the boxiness of how they laid out. So I saw this one by Sara. I'm gonna butcher this. I'm so sorry. Guermani? Sara Guermani? I don't know. Guermani. I'm very sorry. But this is White Christmas. It's a Christmas scene, and this is on 28 count bungalow even weave from Forbidden Fiber. This is true to color. So it's got a nice neutral, but it's a little bit, it has like a slight hint of a red or a pink to it. Just a very slight hint. I'm working through the center of the pattern right now, and it's been slow going. I try to keep up with the white as I'm going, and like I said with the vintage Christmas, I hate stitching just white. So I'm trying to keep up. Like that's you have to do a little bit of white before you can stitch something else. But I was missing a green, and it's a Roxy floss, I think. And I don't know an alternate to it. I want to say it's Roxy Floss Camouflage. If anybody knows the DMC conversion color for that, or a Weeks Dye Works, or Classic Color Works, Cosmo, whatever, let me know. It's just, I don't have Roxy Floss. Not against it, but I would like to use something that I have here. So please send your recommendations. I would really appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, so I think her dress right here gets into the greens, and that's where I was kind of like, I need to wait. I need to get a color for this. And then, Enchantress of the Abyss kind of took over again. The holidays ended, and I just switched over. I'm under no disillusion that this will be finished this year. It won't be. This one's going to be around for a while. There's a row here, and then it travels up, and there's another row of houses up there, and then I believe that there's a manger scene up in the corner, and all that goodness, and then there's, more village down here. It's so cute. It's so cute. I love it. Again, I forgot. I will try to put up pictures. So you will have already known that all of that was there. I'm kind of proud of this back. I'll show it. It's kind of clean. It jumps just a little bit. Yeah. And I do keep my needles with my projects. I know you're not supposed to, but it just makes it easier. Well, before I was using Notion, it made it easier so I could always know, okay, what needle was I using? Because sometimes just because it's on a 28 count doesn't mean it should be, you know, that needle. Sometimes the fabric and the thread combination just calls for a different needle size than you would normally reach for that fabric count, you know? So I did keep my needles with my projects, but I'm trying not to do that now. My next project, I was on a major nativity kick last year, clearly. The next project I started, we have a local group here in Columbia that meets Saturdays at a library with like crafting. And there was a woman that had passed away up north, and the husband had heard about our group, and she was like a major cross stitcher, had loads of cross stitch books, loads of books, and I think other things too. And he very generously donated all those books to, you know, this crafting group that we have down here. And I pulled one of the books, and I'm working through this pattern right now. I haven't been back to the group to return the book so somebody else can love on it. And I don't have the book right here, so I'll show it to you next time. But I've had the book since like November. I feel bad. I need to return it. Anyways, it has a manger scene or a nativity scene, and I absolutely loved it. Loved it. So I had to start it. Let's see. So this is the nativity sampler. Let's take that needle out because it's in the middle of the camel. That's not necessary. Whoa. My laptop's magnetic. We don't need that. We don't need a needle flying through there. I know my iPen, or the Apple Pen, is magnetic, so just drop it there. Anyways, okay, all that hubbub for this. This is the Nativity Sampler. It's from Across Stitch Christmas. I have not made much progress because of that bar of white. It got me. It got me. Again, Christmas. So I started this November 15th, 2023. This is on 32 count Brandywine linen from Witchy. I actually really like this color. I wasn't so sure about it. It's kind of a chocolatey brown. It is kind of a Brandywine color. Maybe like a port. That would help put it into perspective. No, it's like dark chocolate and port. I love it. I really love it. And this is all the called for DMC flosses. I think it might have Cunning. I can't recall right now. I think it maybe uses like a gold Cunning. So I have that. I'll use it in there too. So I'll post the picture, hopefully, in theory. But we have like the camels down here, and then the manger will be up here, and then I think it's the wise men down below. Yeah, I love nativity sets, nativity scenes, all that goodness. So I'm a sucker for it. It's really hard to not go by the patterns when I see them. If you have patterns, share them with me. Share your recommendations for nativities. Enable me, please. My husband says no, but I say yes, please do. This next project was started on the cruise, the Flosstube at Sea. This project is from Farish Needleworks. I think she's released it now. I don't have the pattern here, so I will put a picture up here. I'm very sorry for this being in the Q-snap still, but yeah, it's a bit of a work to try to get it out of the Q-snaps. So this is the Egret and the Dolphin. And yeah, I do think that she released it. So we received this as one of our kits. We had 3 days at sea, and each day at sea we had a workshop with each one of the designers. So Jean Farish taught us some of the specialty stitches that she has in this pattern. This is on 30 count swan feather linen by from Legacy Linen, and it uses all Cosmo floss. I love this pattern. It's so cute. I don't know why I put it back away. I was just doing like a quick little bit, like one little color at a time, trying to move down this row or this part of it. I think this might be like the halfway mark going over. I was working on it, and then Universal Monster jumped in again in my rotations, and Enchantress of the Abyss still takes over. But being summer now, I don't know, the light linen, I just really feel like working on this one again. So hopefully I get some more stitches in on this one soon. I'm only 7.2% of the way through on that one. I think I got like the border, that little bit of border stitching done on the cruise. That was it. So these were all of the Cosmo flosses that came in the kit. It's just so fun and bright and summery, and oh my gosh, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there's so much dog hair coming off of these right now. If you haven't worked with Cosmo floss yet, you really need to give it a try. It really is so lovely to work with over DMC. I don't know what it is. It just feels softer. It feels nicer. It's smoother to work with. I don't have Cosmo Floss Pip and Chip labels yet. It's on the go-to or the shopping list. For the time being, I just braided it in with the Cosmo Floss label in there, so you can see it's not disappearing on me. Yes, I highly recommend playing around with Cosmo Floss. It's worth it. Especially if you don't like dealing with variegation. If that's not your thing, then yeah, give it a shot. I am so sorry if you just heard my stomach growl. It's 3 o'clock, 3:20. Haven't eaten yet. Did I even say the date? Today is June 29th, 2024. I'm going to try to just stitch on, or floss tube on weekends. We'll see. We'll see. I don't feel like the lighting's going to be very good in the evening in here. Maybe it'll work. Okay, so I really don't have that many left in my whips. Let's see, this one is such a pitiful start. Such a pitiful start. This is Forest by Satsuma Street. And sorry, needle, I'm trying to figure out where to put it, and realizing I have my Nativity needle down here still. Okay, this is Forest by Satsuma Street, and I am stitching it on 32 count doubloon, even weave Lugana from Picture This Plus. I always get into her patterns and I'm like, oh, it's bigger than I thought it was. I don't know. For some reason, just getting in, stitching this tree this little bit, I'm just like, this is never ending, this color. Maybe it was just a mood. Maybe it was a headache. Who knows? But I really haven't picked it up to go any farther. If you're wondering what these pink threads are, it's a very old thread that I inherited from my mother-in-law. When she passed away, I got her box of stitching things. So lots of old threads in there. And the pink one stands out, so I was using it as like a basting thread on some needle turn applique. And then I was like, that would be good for just finding my center grid and working from wherever I need to work from on that. So I do it just in, you know, maybe the horizontal, maybe the vertical, one or the other, just enough to find my starting point. And then once I get kind of going, I just pull it all out. So I could probably pull it all out at this point. It would be just fine. So Forest, I'm 4.2% of the way on that. So silly. I started that in March 7th this year. So it's not very old. My next project, this is also very silly, but I have not finished because it's so tiny. So tiny. This is Tiki Skull. I bought this in August last year. And I was like, ooh, I could stitch this while I'm on vacation. I had flown to California to go see family. And we took we weren't like at the family's house. We actually rented a house down the road from my grandmother's house in Palm Springs, California. And I had the intention of stitching there, except I did not stitch there. I got too social. But I did buy this pattern and with the intention of stitching it while I was there. I did not. Let's see. This is on, no idea, but I have the label on it still. 16 count Ada Mediterranean Sea Witchel. My sad little progress. It's not sad, it's just silly that I haven't gotten any farther than that. This is stitched in All the Called Floor DMC. I am actually 44% of the way through. So it's not sad, it's very small. And again, I just see the Enchantress of the Abyss. It's sitting right there when I sit down in my stitchy seat, and I grab that one. I need to just grab this. It's so cute. I can't wait to hang it up. It's going in my Tiki lounge upstairs, obviously. If I was working in the office anymore, if I do get to go, you know, if I get better and I get to work in the office again, then I would probably bring it there. Just be like, this is what I do when I'm not here, friends. Okay. Oh, so I started that May 6th. I probably worked on it twice. Very little progress. Okay, so this next start. This one is silly. Also a silly start. But I miscounted at some point, and that's why it got kind of put on hold. I've had this pattern for ages. It's Pretty Little Amsterdam by Satsuma Street. Can you tell I like Satsuma Street? I also love Barbara Anna Designs. Probably, no, I can't say they're my two favorites, but I really like them. And Artsy Housewife. Oh my gosh, Blue Flower. Yes, okay. Anyways, we're not going down that rabbit hole right now. So Pretty Little Amsterdam, I bought this pattern ages ago. As I mentioned, my mom's side of the family's Dutch. She's first generation in America. Her parents came over. That makes her first generation, right? Or I'm first generation. Nah, she's first generation. It gets so confusing with migraine brain. But I bought Pretty Little Amsterdam, thinking like, oh, that'd be so cute. I could gift it to her. And then for whatever reason, I just never got fabric to stitch it. So it really started digging at me. Like I started getting the itch. I wanted to really stitch it. So I finally did buy the fabric a couple months ago. Oh my gosh, it's almost July. So a couple months ago, I finally got the fabric in May and started stitching on it. Pretty Little Amsterdam. It's so small. My start is so silly. That probably wasn't even in focus either. I'm sorry. It's so silly. So I did get to a counting mistake. I jumped and brain wasn't there working properly. So I put it on hiatus for like a day, did some frogging, restitched, or maybe I just fudged. No, I did some frogging and then realized, oh, I messed up again. So That's why it went on hold. Yes, I remember. I tried fudging it and I was just like, nah, I'm frustrated. We're going to put you on hold. So I am stitching this on the called for fabric. It's 18 count light fiddler Ada from Charles Craft. And then all the called for DMCs is what I'll be using. 1.9%. So sad. I'm gonna finish it. It's gonna happen. I only started this May 29th, so it's not that old. It's still very new, but again, it's been all about Enchantress through this. But really, since I started this, June was a really bad vertigo month for me, so I've been doing more administrative tasks. So like I said, I was transferring my bobbins to Annie's keepers, the rest of them. I was just doing it like as a pattern called for it. I would switch it over, and then I was like, no, we're just gonna start busting through. And then I got the quilty bug, my quilty mojo back. So I've been spending a lot more time in my studio and kind of going through my stash and, you know, rehashing out what I have. So I haven't really stitched much in June, which I was gonna do a Flosstube in May because I was like, yeah, okay, we're stitching, we're making progress. And then I was really hesitant to do this one because I was like, I'm not stitching anymore as much because I'm quilting. Maybe I'll share my quilts with y'all. Would you guys like that? I know some people aren't into, you know, the quilting with the cross stitch. Would you want it in 2 different videos or just tack it on the end? I mean, this is a longer Flosstube, but I think my normal ones would not be this long. I just don't stitch as much anymore. Maybe do like 100 stitches a night. Maybe, if I sit down to stitch, to cross stitch, not to quilt. But yeah, so that's kind of where my WIPs are, except for the Harry Potter one, Letters from Hogwarts. That's not here. So that's all the WIPs that I have outstanding right now. I do have, you know, some plans that I hope to start, some projects that are kitted, ready to go, that I hope to start in the next few months for fall. I did do the Halloween box from Autumn Lane Stitchery last year, and I feel so silly that I didn't stitch it. I mean, it was a really rough year and I was in a lot of pain last fall. It's better now. Still disabling, but better. But I'm sorry for the crinkles that you're hearing. I never got around to stitching it. So I'm looking forward to starting on it. Let's see. Can I get it without the glare? Can I get it in focus? There we go. This one's so cute. Evening Stroll. So it came with, you know, this adorable wood frame, custom made for it, and a little stand for it, and I got the Sleepy Hollow needle minder with it. I believe I read recently that they are planning to do another Halloween box this year. I think it's going to be a smaller box was what she said, if you're interested in it. The signups have not gone out yet, so just keep tabs on the Autumn Lane Stitchery group. So I do plan to get started on that one. And I feel like I started talking when I was talking about the Enchantress of the Abyss, Bella Filipina, that I bought the kit in my local cross-stitch store, and I didn't finish that thought, so I'm sorry. I just realized that when I pulled this out. My local Needleworks store, my LNS, is the Stitch and Kitten. Super cute store. It's new. I love it. In fact, before they opened, I was like, there are no cross-stitch stores anymore in the region. Like, you have to go up to like Greenville or to Myrtle Beach Barefoot Needleworks, needlework, Barefoot. That's just what I call them. So I was like, we really need something here. I could fit the market. And then I found out they opened, and I was like, I don't need to fit the market. Somebody else fits the market. Perfect. So thankfully they filled that niche. But I am part of their Atomic Ranch, Rogue Fabrics Atomic Ranch Fabric of the Month Club. And I get the Lugana, the even weave, 32 counts. So I got this one in lavender from it. That's kind of true to color. Nope. Yep, that's true. So cute. Such a good color. But I had been holding off on this Autumn Lane pattern that came in the Halloween box last year because I needed a purple fabric, and I was gonna try to dye one that had this pattern. Calls for Serafina by Seraphim Fabrics, and it's such a cute fabric color. It's got like some pinks in it and some like yellow greens in it, so it has some like good variegation going on in there. But I didn't want to go buy it. So then when this came up, I was like, perfect. I don't know really what my intention would be on a purple. I don't think I would go out and just buy a purple. It's not really, this lavendery color wouldn't really be my first thought, except for maybe like an Easter pattern or a spring pattern. But when it came, I was like, that. Now I get to stitch. Now I get to stitch the Autumn Lane Trick or Treat. Sorry. Trying really hard with the zippers. I'm very much a close up the zipper kind of girl. This one is, I'm gonna work on this week. Well, I'm working on dyeing the fabric for it. I didn't have the right colors to get the kind of color combo I wanted. Anyways, first the pattern. So Autumn Lane Stitchery, this is Witch's Hollow, and it was called for, the suggested fabric is a 28 count linen pumpkin patch by Bestitch Me, which is super cute. Focus. There. So you can see it has like some dark variegation in the oranges, dark modeling. And I really liked that. I was about to buy it, and then I was like, you know, we need to try dyeing it. We just need to try it. So I was working on dyeing it, except, like I said, I didn't have anything to add like a warmth, like a brown to it, or the darkness to it. So my first dye on it, it's very orange. Yeah, it's pretty true to color. It's like orange sherbet. It's like a 50-50 bar. Gosh, that sounds good right now. So I just got some more dye, and I'm looking forward to trying to re-dye this to get it darker and then to add that depth in there. It's been really fun trying to learn to do my own dyeing. This was a piece of art that came in the Halloween box. So cute. So cute. I didn't zip it. Okay, so this next pattern, also, it's fully kitted, just need to start it. This came from the Flosstube at Sea. This was the day that I actually straight up just missed the workshop, which was really sad. It was Bendy Stitchy's day, Michelle, and it was for her Philosophical pattern. I really love this one. So cute. Philosophical Lover of the Sea. So the fabric for it that we received in the kit was this guy. This is Excursion by Mislaid Pages. such a good color. Such a good color. It's so bright. And then all the flosses for it are, come on, friend. And they were Cosmos as well. And they came on this super cute floss holder. And it says, it's embossed in here, or etched in here, Flosstube at Sea 2024. So cute. Yeah, so I missed it. Like, I fully missed it, and I fully didn't even think about checking in with her afterwards on the kit. So she very graciously mailed it to me after we were back on land. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. It was so sweet of you. I really appreciate it. Those ladies did such a fantastic job on that cruise. My husband went with me, and he just had the time of his life on that cruise as well. It also came with this Let's Sail Away pattern. So I look forward to stitching that guy. On the same vein, we also had a pattern from Jan Hicks Creates. And this was her, yeah, okay. So the front picture covers the Flosstube at Sea version. I love it. I haven't started stitching it only because I always rinse all my overdyed flosses. Some of them say they are color fast, and you would be amazed how much dye can still come out of the color fast ones. I don't generally like wash my finished pieces or anything, but in the event that, you know, like my dog jumped up and spilled a glass of water or something and the dye went, or the water went all over the project, I would be mortified if it bled. So I need to rinse these. I also have a whole slew of other colors that I have procured recently that I need to do. Maybe I'll do that next week, 4th of July. So once I rinse it, then I will do the stitching. But yeah, I love that pattern. So with the 3 designers, the cruisers all got split. We were on the Celebrity Ascent. It was like the 6th voyage. It was not even. Yeah, it was. It was like the 6th voyage. It was brand new ship, brand spanking new. And we divided, we didn't, they divided us stitchers up into 3 different groups. So like every night for dinner, you know, we'd be going and eating with the same group, which was still a large group. So your table mates would be different each night. So you really got to meet a lot of new people. And except we were always late to dinner because somebody else, no, me too. We were both guilty on different nights of, you know, running a little late, taking a little bit longer to get ready, or, you know, needing to just rest. But we got to meet so many lovely friends, and Jan Hicks was she was who I was with, our group. So we really got to know her better, and so sweet. So sweet. I really wish I could go on that cruise again. Let's just go back to it. The next bag I have, I can't show you those. Okay, so hopefully I can find a picture of them. I'm sure I can. Was the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Advent from 2023. Yeah, it was this year, right? I think it was this last year, 2023. So it's Winter Wreath, Eddie the Elf, and Maple the Reindeer. And let's see, I have this guy that I can show you from it. This was from the box. Little scissor fob for keychain. And it came with these little scissors. Love this mustardy color. And then the fabrics, there were 2 Adas, and then an even, like a pearl even weave, a blue and green. I do plan to stitch these this Christmas. These are like simple, smaller ones that, you know, you can just hanging out, just stitch that up. Instead of, you know, my nativity scenes that are going to take me probably the next 5 years. No, hopefully they won't. Okay, so we got back from Flosstube at Sea this year, and I want to say it was like the next weekend or something. It was the next weekend. It was my birthday weekend, and there was a local cross-stitch retreat, stitch and thrift. So there was a table for, you know, all the freebies that, you know, you could, from your stash, pass it on to others. There were also tables that anybody could set up and sell at. Really awesome. We have another one coming up. I need to check the date. Could be in 2 weeks, could be in 3 weeks. It's in July. I should probably check the date. I'm gonna get in trouble. Anyways, it's a graph, it's a chart too. I'm gonna do it real fast. So it's peaches. This was a Charles Craft pattern for a pot holder. But is there a picture that I put in here? Please have a picture I can show. No, I couldn't find a picture. Okay, so it's peaches and blueberries. Whoo, so fast. If you didn't see it, go back. It was on the freebie table, and lesser known fact, Georgia is the peach state, but South Carolina grows the most peaches. So I thought that was very fitting for my new resident state. And I have this fabric from Hobby Lobby that I got on the clearance section. It was $1.49. A 32 count Murano Fleur 32 count. It has these little flowers. It's so cute. It's by Zweigart. But I really didn't know what I was going to use this for. I didn't have anything that was fitting for it. And I realized the peaches, it can go on that. So that is on my to-do list. And we'll go through one more. I'll save the others. But this one I truly am planning to start. So this one is another pattern that I bought at that event. It's Quaker Bat by Steno Stitches. They were selling there. And I saw it and I was like, stop, I need this. I need this in my life. I also dragged my mom to that retreat. It was that was her first cross stitch retreat. So she was like, yes, you need that. That is you. That is so you. And at the retreat, we did do ice dyeing. We had an ice dyeing tutorial, and I made this. So I figured, these are not true to color. That is true to color. I really loved the oranges and the pinks and the yellows that came through, and I felt like the amount of color and movement could really use just like a single color pattern. And of course, I just happened to buy a single color pattern that would be perfect on it. So I'm really looking forward to stitching up this Quaker Bat. It's only 57 by 145, so 2,200 stitches? I can do it. I can do it by Halloween. I'm not going to hold myself to that, but I can do it. I could do it. I don't know, with the quilting mojo that I have back, it's really taken over the majority of my time. Okay, so I'm going to stop there on the projects that I'm planning to start, and just kind of show you like what I'm planning to do before I talk to you again. Another pattern that I had bought at that is this Happy 4th. It's so cute. I mean, it's only June 29th. I can do it. I have this fabric here. What do we have? 32 count Mystic Lugana. Yep, true to color. And I was trying to audition fabrics, so I was buying these 16ths of a yard, 8 by 12 inch from 123 Stitch. I was auditioning which colorway I would like the most for the Enchantress of the Abyss, and this color is gorgeous, but not as gorgeous as that one for the Bella Filipina, but this will be perfect for this project. So I'm hoping to maybe do that tonight, start on that tonight. It's 75 by 107 stitches, 1600 stitches total, 1663 if we're going to be exact. I can make good progress. Anything, I mean, regardless, it might not be finished this year, but I can have fun doing a patriotic stitch. That'll be okay. So I am going to work on that one. And I also have the 12 monthly minis by Primrose Cottage Stitches. When these came out at Nashville, I fell for them. I fell hard. I absolutely love them. Okay, so I can't show you the inside pages, but maybe I can. What is July's? Oh, July's is the flags. August is the bees. So I'm going to start August. It's so cute. It's so cute. Like, stop it. And then I hope September is that little flower. Yeah, so we'll just jump right into my favorites. So I'm going to start here with August, and then September, October, November. Is that December? Yeah, this December. Gosh, they're so cute. And they're so itty bitty. They're like 2.5 by 2.5. So itty bitty. So I'm hoping to get these going. Okay. So those are my plans right now. Of course, I'm going to do more Enchantress of the Abyss because it's my obsession. You're going to hear more about it. Sorry. If you come back, I hope you come back. Speaking of that, please do all the YouTube-y things. Do the likes and subscribe and leave a comment. With my migraines, I'm pretty much homebound. I can't drive anymore with vertigo. I don't go into the office to work. So everybody on Flosstube has been, you know, my company for, well, since like August last year, when I really started having to be home all the time. So leave me the comments, reach out to me, DM me, find me on Instagram, message me there. I'll follow you if I don't follow you already. I do have another personal account, so I may follow people there, but if you follow me on Peace Pineapple Studios on Instagram, then at least then we can follow that way. It'll be, you know, more in line with my Flosstube. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm doing a Flosstube. Anyways, thank you guys for spending this time with me. We're at an hour and a half. I really appreciate that you hung around for that. Like I said before, let me know if you'd be interested in seeing any of the quilting stuff that I work on. My Instagram has been very slow. I've tried to stay off of social media, but I'm planning on rebooting, getting social, making friends, making Flosstitchy friends. So yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. I'll probably only do one a month because I don't stitch enough to warrant more than that, I don't think. I mean, if I have a really good week, I'll let you know. Maybe it'll be 2 weeks, but more than likely it'll be once a month, just as my energy allows for it. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you enjoyed seeing my projects and, you know, what's coming up in the future. Of course, you know, there are going to be patterns that pop up and jump to the front of the line, but those will be hopefully touched in the near future. If you have any questions, send me a message, a direct message, or put it in the comments, and I look forward to seeing what y'all say. Let me know. Let me know about the quilting. I hope you guys have a wonderful 4th of July week here in the US, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.